I'm doing this, and hopefully everything turns out okay. If you guys have questions, shoot me a message in the message bar, and we'll get started pretty much. But this is how to buy your first house like a boss. Right now, it's rainy outside. I had an appointment, and they actually were going to get this presentation, but it's flooded where they're at. And those of you who aren't in Arizona, I know it's weird to be flooding in the desert, but it's actually flooded in certain areas. The ground just can't soak it up like that because it's been raining for like more than an hour. It's crazy. But this is how to buy your first home like a boss, guys. And if you have questions, feel free to let me know. I'll try to answer any questions you have as they pop up. I'm not sure if I'll be able to see them, but this is all new. This is all new technology. But in essence, this is how to buy your first house like a boss. We're going to go through a lot of this stuff. I'm not going to go over who I am to you guys. Been married actually for 3 years now. One little baby girl. My degree is originally in game design. Came out here from Philly. Went to college at Cabrini College for graphic design, but I wanted to make video games, so I transferred out here to Arizona. So I got my degree in and worked at Bank of America. Knew I wasn't going to make video games, so I didn't do that. Couldn't sit still long enough, and got into personal fitness. Became a trainer, where my now partner, Joel Minnick, talked me into getting into real estate. It was either that or buy a gym, or start a gym, I should say, but it was a whole lot cheaper to do real estate because I didn't have to buy equipment. So they tricked me 6 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. It's been amazing, been an amazing ride, just good people. And I live in Goodyear, so I'm a little biased to the west side. If you guys have any questions. So when you're looking for a home, I really like to find out the type of property that the client's looking for, and this is where I would find that information out. So you should have one in mind. These are your resources when it comes to doing anything in your life, quite honestly. Making any big decisions, whether it be a move or buying a house or deciding where your kid is going to go to school. All this stuff goes into it. Time, support, budget, and psychology. Time is how fast or slow you want to do it. Support is if you're helping somebody or somebody's helping you, or if you're by yourself. That's where support comes in at. Budget is budget, but psychology is the most important thing, because until you get into like the $1 million price range, there's usually something that you're going to be compromising, because you're going to take a backyard and put it with a different kitchen, and take a neighborhood and put it, all this stuff. So it comes up. So we do have a search engine on our website. We're able to see the latest homes. It's charles.tminnick.com. You guys can go ahead and register for a free account there. If you have any questions on how to get this link, just let me know. The next thing is that there's a lot of homes for sale in Arizona, and I can't sell a house to everybody. And it's really just to help the people who are looking for help. So an agent's job is to really take the stress out of the situation, just give you information, because as fast or as slow or whatever you want to do, an agent's job is really just to educate you, and then because you're ultimately going to make that decision. So here are the 10 steps to buying a house. I don't know if you can see this. I can send this to you. Just shoot me a message or put something in the comments, and I can give you the 10 steps. I actually designed all this stuff. It's something I created when I first got into the business, because there's just so much and so many avenues, and it doesn't even have to go this route. If there's cash, there's not an appraisal, there's all these little things. So I'm just going to go over this as a major overview and not really get too in depth, because the answer is it really depends. These are some terms that to kind of go over, I educate my clients. If this is your first time, you're just a little bit more educated when you're talking to a lender or a title company, or even just the notary when you're signing your documents, all this stuff. So agency is representation. You're being represented by your real estate agent. It's almost like a lawyer in a case, right? Their job is to go up to bat for you, almost against that other person, that seller, that to get you the best deal. Closing costs. Nobody ever talks about that, but in addition to your down payment, you do have closing costs, and that's going to be your escrow fees are a part of your closing costs, title insurance, a lot of little things, loan origination fees. That's where your closing costs come in at, and they can, even on a VA loan where you don't have necessarily a down payment, there's still closing costs that nobody ever talks about. Home warranty and home insurance, people kind of get these two confused a lot of times. The home warranty, they usually cover if something happens with an appliance and the little things in the property. So if your AC goes out, typically you would call your home warranty. Depending on your coverage, check with them because everyone's different. It's kind of like having a warranty on a car, like the bumper to bumper. They may cover this, may cover that. But your home insurance is included in your payment. And I like to tell my clients that's the oh crap stuff. Like if there's the roof just comes off because of the winds and the rain and stuff that we're having, you're not going to call your home warranty. You call your home insurance company for that because they're insuring the property. Title company, they're going to be the neutral third party to make sure that you as a buyer do what you said you're going to do, but also the seller is doing what they said they're going to do. We have them hold our funds when we're putting up escrow, earnest deposits and things like that. So I'm checking this thing. If you guys have any questions, this is all new, so it's hard to even see who's watching. Mr. Khan, how's it going? Oh, Mr. Khan. How's it going, man? I appreciate you working with me. Great tax dude. If you guys ever need anything, he's amazing. Very, very patient man, especially when getting docs over. But these are the 10 steps, guys. Number 1 is finding your agent. It's pretty easy if you have your agent already in mind. Next one is getting your lender. Then we're looking at finding your home. That's when you really go shopping. That's when you actually do your actual search for your property and you go out and things like that. After that, you really make your offer. We have the Godfather here because traditionally it's been a seller's market recently, and you got to make them an offer they're not going to refuse, because you want to feel good if they say yes, but you also want to feel good if they say no, because they may not even counter. We've had that happen before. So when it comes down, after you are under contract, you have your earnest deposit that is due to the title company. And that's part of your down payment. In earnest, in trust, I'm going to purchase this home. So say you have this down payment. What happens is part of it, you're going to put up a certain amount to say, hey, you know what? Hold this title company. I'm serious. Take the house off the market, seller. Then you have your inspection. This can vary, but it's typically up to 10 days of when you have an executed contract to actually inspect the property, inspect the neighbor. You're inspecting everything about your living conditions that you're going to be under, with whether it be the neighbors you're next to, the area you want to verify, school districts, all this stuff that's important to you. This is what your inspection period is for. After that, you have your appraisal, and this is actually where the bank comes in and thank you, Jason. This is where the bank comes in and makes sure the house is worth what you're getting a loan for if you're getting a loan. Now, if you're paying cash, you don't have to worry about this. But this is where the bank wants to honestly verify if you don't make your payment, can they get their money back? So it's kind of hard to pay more than what the house is worth in this market. After that, oh, by the way, 1 through 7, it can happen like that. It can be like a week, maybe 2. But after that, you're kind of sitting and waiting while the lender verifies your employment and get the additional documentations, puts you through underwriting, wait for the appraisal to come in, all these little things. And then you'll be signing your closing documents. You sign. So I have a lot of people from out of state moving here in Arizona. And sometimes in different states, this is when you actually get your keys. And a lot of times you actually need lawyers and things like that. Arizona is a little bit different. The agent actually has the power to write contract law in regards to the real estate purchase. So when you sign your document, there's no need for lawyers or anything like that. It just has to be notarized. But ultimately, you can pay your money and not get the keys that day because everything's prorated and predicated on this specific date. So all the taxes, the insurance, if you're moving in, say Monday, and you sign today, which would really be like a Friday because you don't sign on the weekends. But they have to receive the paperwork on the weekday. Ultimately, what happens is this information and all that stuff is prorated for that day. That's called the day of the buyer, actually, because that's when the buyer takes over everything with that house. So after that, you have your recording. Now, this can all happen the same day as when you sign, but we actually like to do it as far away from possible because what happens is we find that it's a whole lot smoother that way. But when we're actually recording, that's when I, as an agent, can give you the key. A recording is when the title company sends it over to Maricopa County and they take off the other person's name and then they put your name down as the owner. That's when I can officially give you the keys, and that's called the day of the buyer. That's when it actually records. That's when you're a homeowner. You'll be sitting there with boxes moving in. So this is how it works in a nutshell. I have rules for my clients, but I'll show you guys that later if we want to go that route. But I just want to share this quick information with you. If you have any questions about buying a house or selling a house even, feel free to let me know, and I will talk to you soon. Again, this is Charles, West USA Realty, and you guys have a good rainy day.